in hand, breaks it down, he takes a stand. Raw and loud, the comments scroll. Same old game, same tired role. They bought the crown, then priced the seats. Bleeding fans in rows of seats. Greed on top, the card gets thin. The same old faces cashing in. No more spark, no more swing. Just a brand in a gold chain. You can hear the room go cold when the soul gets sold. It's Jake's way or the highway. Bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee, it's my way. Heed the warning, heed the warning, heed the warning. Listen to me. Look alive, look alive. Should be watching NXT. Should be watching NXT. Should be watching NXT. Should be watching NXT. CEOs with empty eyes swap the fight for cheaper ties. Celebs in the spotlight glare while the wrestlers wait out there. Slow decay in every town. Crowds get thin when trust goes down. They took the ring and left the stain. Still we scream it through the pain. No more spark, no more swing. Just a brand in a gold chain. You can hear the room go cold when the soul gets sold. It's Jake's way or the highway. Bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee, it's my way. Heed the warning, heed the warning, heed the warning. Listen to me. Look alive, look alive. Should be watching NXT. Should be watching NXT. Should be watching NXT. Jake points out the broken line. Match by match, the warnings climb. If the future's getting buried deep, then wake the dead and make it bleed. It's Jake's way or the highway. Bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee, it's my way. Heed the warning, heed the warning, heed the warning. Listen to me. Look alive, look alive. Should be watching NXT. Should be watching NXT. Why? Lars hub screens ignite. Jake and Cody in the fight. Pixel wars, endless night. Shadows fall under neon lights. Into somewhere we are. You can feel it in the crowd when the spark don't land. You can feel it in the crowd when the spark don't land. They keep chasing faces while the ring needs hands. Jake says, look at this, tell me what you see. A company for headlines or a place for wrestling. Into somewhere, say the name, say it clear. Into somewhere, we can see the damage here. Higher prices, lower heart. Every week they pull apart. Into somewhere, Jake, we're calling it out. We watched it change slow like rust on the ropes. One bad call at a time. One more crushed hope. And if the locker room's loud, why does it feel so bare? You can buy the biggest name, but you can't buy care. Jake, tell me true. What are they building? Who is this for? Somewhere, clicking, we already there. Two hosts, one screen, that glare. WrestleMania in the long from
What's going on, ladies and gents? Gotta love it when the audio file that you've chosen is not in its proper folder. So hopefully everybody's doing well. It is Revenge of the 5th, May 5th, 2026. Glad to have you all here for Into Somewhere's NXT review. I am Jake, aka Countdown Ended. Glad to have you here with us yet again. I mean, this was a really fun, enjoyable NXT. Not as exciting as last week, but boy, oh boy, did they still deliver. They had some new debuts, some name debuts, I should say, as well as some good matchups, and everything is building nicely right now. That's what I like to see. You know, they're adding to things. And speaking of adding, I'm adding one more to the headset. It's the one. It's the only. It's the gaming extraordinaire.
Time to play the game.
It's Liz. DJ Anime 2016 is here.
Yeah.
On Twitch.
Yeah.
It's Liz on Twitch.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
be Cody yelling whoa, but hopefully you're doing well. Glad to have you here yet again for the NXT review. You joined us,
Yeah, no
a
problem,
couple
man.
times in the past, and Cody's usually busy on Tuesdays, so glad to have you here. I am pumped. Chat's glad to have you here. We're glad to have you here, and I'm exhausted, worse for wear, but this episode got me pumped. And unfortunately, I think what it is that there's been so much negativity, bad news, and things of the like with wrestling, and that's usually our outlet to escape. And instead,
Yeah.
they've just been letting people go left, right, and center. And it
Letting
seems
everybody go, taking pay cuts.
yeah, pay cuts, restructuring deals. As much as I joke that, like, hey, Roman Reigns isn't worth 15 million, he's on vacation all the time. You still decided to pay him that much. You thought he was worth that. So for you to come back at him now and be like, oh, we're going to give you 7.5 million and you're going to go ahead and like it. That's rough. That's I don't know how they can do that. Like, you have to show up to work for every date in that contract. You have to do every obligation, but they can, in the middle of it, say, no, we're going to pay you less. How is that legal?
That's just like a baseball player, taking a pay cut in the middle of the season. It's like in the middle of a contract. No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Where's our time traveling lawyer? Where's Into Somewhere's Coot DeLute? I need him here now. Bugaloo, get here pronto, because you got to explain this to us. I don't know how they're able to pull their heads out of their ass and say this is legal or okay, because holy shit, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat as
I read
well.
some of that stuff on Twitter. I was kind of like, are you kidding me? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So TKO is asking multiple talents to renegotiate their deals. And this is not just a Dave Meltzer report or a Fightful report. This is everywhere. And everybody's reporting things a little bit different. You notice slight indiscrepancies and little changes, little earmarks. And that's how you know it's true. Because everybody's pretty much saying the same thing, with just a little slight difference added to it. It's ever so slight for things, little tiny details about timing or whatever, but that's how you can tell it's a PR department scrambling to get things out and trying to get ahead of the media backlash. That's basically what it is. So now,
of course, now we know why the New Day left. So,
Of course, and many others to come, and why they originally were playing hardball with Roman Reigns. They were saying to him, "Hey, you're going to show up and you're going to take this pay cut." And he was like, "No, I'm not." And then suddenly he was no longer advertised for June.
Yeah, he's not going to be on in June because apparently he's not going to be at Night of Champions, which I'm kind of like going, wait a second. you're a champion and you're not going to be at Night of Champions? Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
Sure, you're not even like doing a contract signing at Night of Champions. You're just not there. But he's going to be at Clash of Italy. Don't you worry. Well,
Oh yeah,
later on, Liz, that wasn't true. That's f***ing ridiculous. You're
Yeah.
lying, Liz. You're gaslighting me. You're lying. How dare you? That never happened. It was a clerical error, Liz. How dare you?
That was an error. Okay,
Even though
got it.
WWE themselves reported that the date changes and took him off of appearances, it was a clerical error. It was no.
Oh,
They renegotiated his contract, and he went ahead and was like, "Oh, okay, they are going to remove me." Shit, and somebody made some agreement to a deal there. That's what happened because
boy.
they wanted to restructure his deal. What happened was when AEW was first forming, Vince got nervous. He didn't know what their value was going to be and what their impact on,
Competition.
yeah, exactly, the competition level that they were. And what he did was he started signing, I don't want to say low bit players. That's not complimentary to these people's work. But in Vince's eyes, these were people that he probably would have let go already. But he didn't want them to go elsewhere, like Gallows and Anderson. And suddenly he's paying people that he had no use for before millions of dollars. He gave those boys $1 million a year for like 3 years on that first boosted contract. And eventually it got dickered down, I think, to like $900K, but still, that's why they got let go initially in that first wave of the 2020 releases, because there were so many people being highly, highly paid because Vince thought AEW was going to be a bigger deal than it was. And that's not a slight on AEW in the sense, but they didn't have the impact on bidding power he thought they would. Did they screw with WWE? Surely. Did they mess up ratings and have an impact overall? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you can't say that, oh, for sure, they scared Vince in a proper way. Like there was nothing to back it. It was just the boogeyman of AEW. And then when he saw that they couldn't handle NXT, he was like, oh, they're competing with our developmental. Forget it.
Yeah.
And then he didn't re-sign extra people. He wasn't worried about having extra contracts or, because he was putting out like 5-year deals. There was speculation of a 10-year deal. Like it was he signed The Undertaker to this 10-year Legends contract.
Yeah.
Like he was making sure no one he wanted was going anywhere. That's not me misremembering or paranoid delusion. Like this was a guaranteed proven fact in court. Like this was Vince's plan. And he chose Endeavor, TKO, to be the ones to buy the company because they promised him a spot in the company for life. It wasn't until he got himself canceled because he stopped paying Janelle and all this came to light anyways. But TKO is asking multiple talents right now to restructure their contracts as well, a result of what they view as talent rate of production versus what they are being paid. So either they're not wrestling, showing up, or performing enough, or what they're doing now isn't worth the rate in which they're being compensated for.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, so they said that they pushed talent, basically the push talent, most of them, a majority of them from PW Insider's Mike Johnson, Major League Push talent had accepted a 50% pay cut. And multiple
insane.
talents had been approached about reductions, said Sean Ross Sapp. So everybody, like I said, is reporting one more detail. I know I'm finally winning. But one more detail, one more piece.
Yeah, you are.
So
You're
like,
winning a fantasy game.
yeah. So initially you hear from, like I said, Body Slam. They're the ones that said like, all right, they're reducing contracts. And then you hear PW Insiders say like, oh, they're going all the way up to a 50% pay cut. Then you hear Sean Ross Sapp say, oh, it's multiple talent that have been approached. That like, so you get what I'm saying? So like everybody has another piece of the puzzle. So that's how you know it's true, because PR, as it's developing, is giving out more and more. So freepress.com has an update. There's more to WWE releasing the New Day story. Multiple outlets are reporting that Kofi and Xavier were asked to renegotiate their contracts with a substantial pay cut. They declined to do so, and they were let go and not re-signed. It's being so they shouldn't have a non-compete because they're not being re-signed instead of let go.
Right.
And it's so they got Aleister Black, Jeff Cobb, Apollo Crews, Santos Escobar, which is another weird one. He is injured. Tonga Loa, Kairi Sane, Zelina Vega, the Motor City Machine Guns. So there's
Pretty much all the
mild
tag team division is gone.
yeah, and there's only mild interest from Tony Khan for, I guess, the Motor City Machine Guns and no one else.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and
Tony
people are
Khan,
doing
I'll tell
very
you one
well
thing,
on
Tony
the
Khan would
independent
be
scene, but
Tony Khan would be an idiot if he didn't sign the New Day.
if they want to be signed and
That's as if they want to go to AEW.
yeah, and now TKO, you can see their plan. Like they're forcing to have Cena go to all these dates. Now he's making a massive announcement at Backlash. We don't know what that's about, but it's obviously got something to
probably
do
about that
with
Club
WWE
crap.
Club. Yeah, that. Basically, it's a lot of the mid-card talents that they're approaching to go ahead and use as these leverages for less pay. And you know what? One of the people that I've heard, kind of an exclusive that people really aren't talking about, but
Yeah,
it's fucking.
with everybody saying.
Yeah.
He got his contract cut.
Well, he was supposed to have a thing with Gunther, from what I saw.
Yeah, and they basically changed plans. Gunther went as we saw, different direction with Cody, and they were going to let LA Knight go. And then they didn't want to deal with the backlash, so they offered him less money. And supposedly he took a pay cut to stay.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but if you look, excuse me, I'm very congested tonight. If you look at the way things are laid out, I mean, it's record-breaking, record profit years, and they're worried about small margins. I can understand if they were being honest and like, all right, we have a bloated roster, we need to cut some. But to do it for financial reasons is what kills me. You have the New York Post
crazy.
chiming in here. Let's go to the $10 billion studio, Liz. Let's chime in.
Let's
here.
go.
Yeah, chiming in.
Studio.
And we can go ahead and see. Keeping the lights on, we could see that, it's interesting that we've got New York Post chiming in here, and say what you want about them. I mean, they reputable or not, they are very popular. You know, I would say they're more than reputable, but it is worrisome. New Day's departure from WWE raises further TKO concerns. And apparently me reading the article once is the only time I can read it. So gotta love New York Post, but basically
you gotta love when you want to read something and they're like, oh, well, if you want to read the rest, you gotta, subscribe.
You're like, even if you have the ad blocker not commissioned here, we want you to not see the article more than once. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I hate websites that are like that. It just drives me crazy.
What the sad thing is that I hate that they do this nowadays, and sometimes you can go ahead and just do that. And I was hoping it would, surmise it more, but they're just showing how TKO's contract restructuring policy is reshaping WWE's roster. It underscores growing concerns that long-term deals may not be guaranteed full-term value, which is very true. So now they're going to offer you $5 million a year. Well, what happens year two when they change their mind and that 5 becomes 1? And now that you're locked into a 3-year contract, you're either breaking contract in their eyes, or I still don't get how it's legal, but all of these things, they don't have, that it's all at the expense of talent and none of the expense of the actual company. And this is gonna
chat's talking about strawberry cinnamon toast crunch. Ooh, that does sound good.
Dairy Queen has cinnamon toast crunch dipped cones now.
Oh
Now
my
that
God.
sounds incredible.
Woo!
We are fat asses.
Yeah,
Mayor
that sounds
Dickinson,
tasty.
good to see you. Peter Griffin slammed Jasper Troy. Yes, that was hilarious. We will get to all of NXT, but yeah, I mean, this is making sense. New Day's departure only raises, further concerns, and I get why. It's just this pay cut trend that's growing repeatedly, and people
Yeah,
are worried.
yeah, and then you got the TKO guys making all this pay raise, all the money. Of course, they all raise their pay. All their pay goes higher, and I'm just
Oh
kind of
my
like,
goodness,
yeah, okay.
the TKO bonuses. I mean, we discussed it before, but
Oh, I
holy
saw it on the
hell.
internet.
I mean, for what they got, their compensation. This is AI. It could be a lie here with Copilot, but we did look it up and talked about it, Cody and I, Into Somewhere Weekly. And I mean, Ari Emanuel got 67 million. Good old Mark Shapiro, not charging him enough. 42 million and 4 million salary, $12.5 million cash bonus, 25.8 in stock awards. So it's Nick Khan got 24 million compensated. Like The Rock got, just in his travel for a couple events, was like $700,000. That could be a few people's yearly contract, just taking care of the travel costs.
Yeah, it's
And you
crazy.
see here, it's an
That's
article
insane.
on Yahoo Finance. TK executive salaries skyrocket as the company cuts wrestlers.
Yeah, they get more money, so at the
Just because
expense
I
of
enjoy key storylines and things like that, not to cut you off, but I've never once okayed this. I since last year when they debuted on Netflix. Yeah, I can't talk.
Mhm.
I have been crying from the rooftop saying that this is going to be terrible, and it's only gotten worse. We've
Yeah.
gotten less matches on pay-per-views because they've really had the focus on it being a PLE, premium live events now. They don't have to sell you on them. They don't even have to have title matches on them. It doesn't matter because you're not paying for it. Maybe the subscription to the network, but you get other things. So, hey, it's extra, You're not getting what we used to. The value is gone. I
Yeah.
understand why people are upset over Mania and having less. I was just saying, like, it's to be expected at this point. I was not surprised, sadly.
All right.
This is what we've gotten repeatedly, and it's like, no shit. I've been screaming this at the since last year's Rumble. Now this year it was even worse. We had 4 matches on the Rumble, and it was all ads.
Yeah.
Raw has been ad apocalypse for ages now. SmackDown has been 3 hours of some of the worst television. Me liking 3 things doesn't
SmackDown's getting ready to go back
justify
to
the
2
show.
hours, so we'll see how that goes.
And we'll see. And last time, everybody couldn't wait, myself included. They went back, and I'm like, oh, see, we lost all the stuff that made SmackDown good at that point in time. But really what it was is they just got away from the tag division. They got sucked up with the Wyatt Six,
Well,
and
they
we
don't have
lost a
a tag
lot of what
division
made...
anymore anyway. They cut
No,
everybody.
so you might as well continue the half-hour entrances for Cody and everybody else. So Randy included. But they're right.
Whenever Randy
Fans are
comes back,
upset.
whenever Randy shows up again, when that's going to be, who knows? So
We'll see. And fans are upset. TKO is asking talent to take pay cuts while also shredding salaries. And fans are saying, like, where is the money going? At least before, when you paid somewhat exorbitant prices, like you paid $1,000 to go to Mania, where you were sitting really, really up there. You had a great seat. You were going to WWE World. You got a couple of autograph sessions with that price too. Like it was, you know what I mean? You did a bunch of stuff, and maybe you even went to the Hall of Fame or NXT.
When I went to Mania, which was, good Lord, that was 2017. That was like, how many years ago? 9 years ago now.
Wow.
Back then, you could afford to go to Mania and everything else.
But that's the thing, and that's why fans swarmed. I mean, a lot of the fans may not have had manners and whatever, but indeed, the majority of the fans couldn't afford to get them and their kids, and everybody paid for the tickets to go to WWE World and then go to the autograph sessions and all that. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna wait. Like they didn't used to have autograph things. My grandmother would let me stay outside after the arena and stuff and see if you see anybody. And I used to hate it. My grandma was like, come on, it'll be fun. You wait hours and then maybe you see a couple of limousines. Now they had people following people in the bathrooms. It's changed, but a lot of this is now. Fans don't know how to behave. They either push their kids at them or they push their phones.
The WWE World is totally different than when I went when I went to it, because back when I went to it, it was called Access and everything. The only thing you had to pay extra for is if you wanted to meet, if you wanted to actually pay for one of the big time name autograph people, you had to pay extra for that. But you paid, you got a pass, you got in, you got to do everything for free.
Everything, the meet and greets, watch the matches, and there were a lot more matches when you went, and there was a lot more. Basically, what they had was like entrance competitions at WWE World this year.
Yeah, that's the thing. All the entrance stuff they did when I went was you could go up there and do it for free. Apparently now, if you want to do entrance, you got to pay extra.
You had to pay for a pass to even get into the Obafemi comp to do the Obafemi walk, like to see Cody and everybody come out. You had to pay to get a ring pass to go and get to the, it's not what it was, and that's what's disgusting about it.
It was crazy. When I went, they had the illumination chamber thing. They had the actual chamber there that you could actually go into, and that's where they had Finn Balor was there signing autographs, but you had to pay extra for that and whatnot. Plus, his line was massively long at that time. So
for certain people, but it wasn't everybody. And if it was, you're paying extra. How much was it? It was like $40.
The thing was, I got I met a lot of wrestlers. I actually stood in line and got quite a few autographs.
Yeah, I remember.
WrestleMania T-shirt.
Yep, I recall. And that was the thing. Like, it wasn't this isolate, and then they walked around too, and like it just had a different vibe to it. Now it is so corporate and so lacking in fan synergy. You're just pushing people along like a conveyor belt, and like Cody was shocked, but that's the meet and greet. Hi, how are you? Oh, I really love you. You're amazing. Snap picture. All right, goodbye. Like that, and that was it. And he was like, he's like, that's $1,000. I was like,
yeah, it's crazy. When I went, I got to meet. I can't remember who all I met. I did meet Cesaro. I met Cesaro, and some of the cruiserweights when they were actually around. Most of those are no longer around anymore. So
Exactly. But like I said, one of the YouTubers that I watch.
Cool people, and they're you got to spend time with them and hang out with them and talk to them for a few minutes and take a picture, and
they spent $6,000.
It didn't cost me extra money
through On Location to do that. And during the first night meet and greet, they got to meet Cena and Undertaker and like people like that. And it's like, that's great, but think about how much you spent. You spent $6,000 for a WrestleMania ticket that went for $800, and then you got to meet about 10 different celebs, and you had hospitality, which was cold pizza and as much as you wanted to drink, and you weren't drinking. So really, what did you get? You got screwed over. And like I said, the elite memorabilia that you got for the gold package and all that was WrestleMania branded playing cards and poker chips, dice, and a couple of like pins and buttons in a Funko Pop.
That's crazy. It's kind of funny because I was looking back. I found the other day I was going through some stuff and I found my WrestleMania tickets from when I went to WrestleMania, which is crazy that I still have that.
Yeah.
But in the travel package that I purchased back then, couldn't tell you how much it cost back then. But anyways, it included tickets to Raw, tickets to WrestleMania, tickets
That's what I'm
to
saying.
NXT. The Hall of Fame. What else we got? We got free passes to Universal Studios.
Yeah, you managed to have quite the quite the deal.
Hotel was included. Transportation. They provided a bus for you to ride over to the stadium for WrestleMania. So you got all that.
I forgot transportation too, because like you forget how much you pay if you're not right on the the strip itself. How much are you paying for Ubers and
exactly.
God.
And all
This
we
was
had to
on
do was
Sports
drive down to
Illustrated.
Orlando, and Orlando is only like a 6.5, 7 hour drive from here. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah!
And this was on Sports Illustrated, the takedown on SI. LA Knight confirmed, hey, why did he miss Monday night's Raw? And what's the update? What do you think it could be?
Who knows?
They just have nothing for him now. Because we were going to have him, Body Slam said that, well, he was going to have a program briefly with Gunther, but those plans have changed. So now they have no creative direction. It's unknown. They have nothing to do with him. Nothing at all.
Everybody's saying
He was having a thing with the Vision. Apparently, they just totally did away with that. So
they're doing away with the Vision as well. He's been
yeah,
at
they are.
Raws.
Well,
He's been all there. He threw out the first pitch at the Twins game. He did everything basically at SummerSlam, doing things for the Minnesota Twins as well, like I said. So they're pushing him, but this is like I said, he was supposedly rumored to be being no, terrible. What? Yeah, it's terrible. Let go. They wanted to fire him, mother.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it's legal, but yeah, they wanted to fire LA Knight.
What?
They did. Man. They wanted to let him go. So they talk about the New Day, and they said basically LA Knight was supposed to have all of these things happen, and none of it's happened. Oh, he's supposed to go against Brock Lesnar. Oh, he's supposed to go against Gunther. Oh, it's like he's being held back intentionally. You know what's even worse than this? What else do we have on Raw that we really enjoy? We got CM Punk. And guess who's not going to be there for a while? CM Punk. He's not going to be at Backlash. Apparently, unless he's at Backlash to tag with Danhausen, who loves money.
Yeah.
He said at the moment, as far as I'm aware, he's not scheduled to be at Backlash. And thank you, Paul, for paying respects. Everyone press F to pay respect to
I tell you,
Cinco de Mayo's own.
CM Punk, they need to go put CM Punk. Well, I guess they can't put Punk. If Roman's going to be gone for like a month or so, you got to have somebody on Raw. Punk's got to be on Raw, I guess, for something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he was there for the 420 episode after Mania being like, yeah, I lost, but I'm not giving up. And then the last week and this week, he hasn't, last 2 weeks, he hasn't 2 episodes. Whatever. He hasn't shown up, motherfucker. He has not been around. And call me a crybaby, fine, but
I know AJ's gone AJ's going to be gone for a while. So.
And we talked about that. We reported that here long before Mania. We talked about that at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah!
That's how long ago we said that she's going to be gone after Mania. And people shat down my throat saying that's impossible. It's impossible. Well, it's never going to happen.
I had a feeling that's what was going to happen because I knew she probably wasn't going to beat Becky again.
I know. But with the New Day gone, with their departure and TKO, CM Punk is not going to be around. Chelsea Green just says she underwent a heart procedure to address the SVT, which is basically an improper heart rhythm.
Yeah.
And at WrestleMania, she said that she had to deal with this incredibly fast heart rhythm. Her resting heart rate at Mania was 228 beats per minute. That's so fast for 15 minutes. Her cardiologist spent 3 hours digging through her body, basically, going through her heart. And then she had to be awake for the last hour because they have to know that they don't, shock your heart wrong or disconnect things. It's pretty scary. But yeah, she just got better from the ankle injury, as we saw. She stood up on SmackDown, and then she's been dealing with this.
She's had that heart thing for a while. So.
Yes, she's been dealing with it for the last 10 years, and now they finally caught it, and she's on the mend. So great to hear that, but holy hell, is that just a sight to see. Poor girl. Can't catch a break.
I actually watched Raw from last night. I watched Raw from last night, and I was kind of like going, Logan Paul just needs to go. I'm sorry, but just go away.
I know he agitates you, but at least he's good in the ring. He's usually decent on the mic. Like he does make you feel that passion of hate. Like at least he does something. There's a few other people that are just floating by, and sadly.
Well, I mean, Seth Rollins, Braun took him out twice. I'm like, Seth,
Does
you
anybody
need
give
to
a
get some
damn?
help, bro.
Mm. And then
But I'd
meanwhile,
say
the
one
Street
thing I can
Profits
see in the
help them.
future.
And then they're like,
I see
yeah,
one thing
nobody
that's
wants
going
to
to
help
happen.
you.
We're going to have Roman.
Yeah.
Roman versus Seth is going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yep. We're going to get that. And we're going to get probably Team Roman versus Team Reluctant Seth. I think that's what'll happen as well. They voted Hulk Hogan versus the H-Man as the most disappointing match in Backlash history.
Wow.
Funny. We'll talk about that more tomorrow night when we have our Backlash predictions. But dreams do come true. As much as I love Gina Carano, I have a new Simp Nation, leader, y'all, and it's gonna be the one, the only Emily Agard or Agard. I think it's Agard.
Agard. I think it's Agard.
Agard, yeah.
Agard.
She said that, no, dreams come true. She finally made it to WWE. She's in NXT. And she did an interview with Keanu Carver tonight that was really well done. And I'm not just saying that because I'm simping for her. She is gorgeous, but she really did an excellent job. She's covered wrestling and has been a fan for over 20 years. She's worked with WWE, AEW, New Japan, TNA, and Joshi Pro. She's like, if you know me, this has been a huge goal of mine. It's an absolute dream. I love wrestling. Cannot wait to dive right in. Let's get to work at NXT. And she's one of the new faces there. She made a hell of an impression. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Yeah.
Other stars.
Nate's got a point in the chat. They kind of dropped the ball on LA Knight along the way.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. That's one of the things I was going to bring up, Nate. You said he was so white hot 2 to 3 years ago. He's never going to be world champion. It feels that way because every time he's ascended past where they wanted him to be, he gets punished again. Anytime he gets over further than what they want, he gets too over with the fans. Like when he was going up against Roman, the fans wanted him to win that title. They're like, it's time for Roman to lose.
He could have beaten Roman. He could have won. I mean, he had how many chances at the Money in the Bank that they never let him have,
There's so many opportunities. And right here, being rumored to take a pay cut, LA Knight, and that makes me sick inside. But I've been saying it for a couple of days now that I was worried about this. And then we heard the New Day. Another person is Logan Paul. That's right, because of how much he's being paid. As good as he is, even they feel like he's providing a lot for the company, which he is in spades. He's got such a gigantic reach with his audience and his live streaming and the celebs he brings in and whatnot. I Show Speed and KSI and others.
I'm with Joe Henry. Let's just fire Logan Paul.
It's a lot of money. And then fire. Logan Paul. Then we've got Bailey.
Because when the thing is, apparently his concert, Joe Henry's concert, started in a commercial break, and then it continued on to the actual live show. Because I actually went back and saw the whole concert. I was, so it actually started in a commercial break. Okay.
Yep. I'm like, that's how they do it now. It kills me. Like some nights you don't even see Danhausen. Other times you do briefly, but yeah, if they don't let LA Knight win, he's certainly just only going to be ever the champ of the people, but not the actual champ. Like really mysterious says that I am. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, Bailey, not a surprise because she's another one that earned that spot. She's been on the roster for a long time as a top person, head honcho, locker room leader for a damn reason. But saying she needs to cut it down or hang up the boots, that's worrisome. And then The Miz, and he is getting paid a lot of money, but is it worth it for him to come out, be smarmy, be a heel, and then get his comeuppance and get his ass kicked after a 3-minute match, if that.
Bailey could go join what's her name over at AEW, Mercedes, whenever Mercedes comes back to AEW.
Supposedly she doesn't want to resign, she wants to go there. And as we said before, Roman not confirmed for Night of Champions, but is confirmed for Clash in Italy. So as of right now, we definitely know these are the confirmed dates: the 9th, the 11th, the 18th, the 25th, the 31st, being the Clash in Italy.
Yeah.
And from there, we'll see, what happens.
Oh, he was pissed. The beginning of Raw, he was pissed off.
He was hyped up and angry. And apparently now, get this, they want to re-sign the New Day.
Huh?
Not like they regret letting them go, but they want to basically let them sit on it for a few days and say, no one's going to pay you as much as we offered you. So come back. We'll give you half of what you were getting before, and you can go ahead and come back to WWE. You'll be home. I don't know how this is legal. How is this legal? How can they do this? I don't get it. Hello, gorgeous.
That's just crazy. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna ask me to take a pay cut and I say no, and then you're gonna let me go, and then you're gonna try to bring me back, I'll be like, no, hell no.
I'm baffled. Oh,
if I was the New Day and they asked me to come back, I'd say, okay, I'll come back on these conditions, on certain conditions, of certain things.
It makes sense, Liz. Our time traveling lawyer, just found out, and Vince was evil. We knew that.
No.
Very evil. Made a deal.
Very nice, very evil?
Not nice, just evil. Very evil, very
just evil. Okay.
But here's the thing. Very evil Vince McMahon made a deal with someone more evil than he. He made a deal with the devil. He sold his soul to keep his job in the company that he was losing. And the devil is TKO.
Yep.
And evil is evil. And not that evil, who we'll get to, but they are evil. No one more evil than TKO. Vince may shit on your head.
TKO thinks that they can run the WWE like they run the UFC. So
yeah, they're going to pay content creators and the actual stars of the show, the people that make the content, is what I'm saying, less and less and less. Just like UFC pays their fighters less and less and less. Used to be when you won, you got 80 grand in your purse. Now your entire weekend pay with winning is $50,000. Used to be an $80,000
well, that's one way
win
to celebrate
bonus.
Cinco de Mayo at a baseball game. Sure, wearing a taco hat on your head. Cool.
Cool. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about with Evil, with Will Cruz and his new name, like all of it. We will get to NXT in a moment, but I just wanted to bring all this up because so much is happening. It's a very mini
it's
into
crazy,
Somewhere
man.
Weekly. But yeah, crazy that they're trying to rehire these gentlemen and they think this is a good idea. They think this is smart. This is intelligent.
I've seen baseball players. Now, for an example, the Braves had a player back in the day, and he actually took a pay cut so they could actually re-sign another player to keep him on the team. So he actually volunteered to take a pay cut, and I'm just kind of like, and he actually ended up retiring as a Brave. He played all seasons with the Braves because of that.
So see, I've heard that, but like it was like, hey, we don't want you to, but here's the thing: we can't afford you. So do you want to stay as a Brave, or that's kind of a different story.
It's a totally different thing.
Yeah,
but
then
the whole
but
thing
still,
the whole thing was he was getting already paid. He already had a contract, and he actually took a pay cut. He actually volunteered. He
out of loyalty, yes, and I bet you had they approached.
He's like, I'm gonna take a pay cut.
But you can't.
In order to, to help the team.
Yes, but you can't say, "Oh, WWE needs your help. We're having a record-breaking quarter again, and we made so much money that we can't spend it fast enough. So we need to pay you less so we can spend more."
Yeah, we're making all this money, but we can't pay you. But we want you to take a pay cut so we can make all the higher ups can make the extra money.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I mean, that's what they want. They want the higher ups to be richer and richer. That's what took down like EA Games. That's what happened with Bethesda Studios. And you look at like, the Fallout series and things of this nature. Corporate greed at the top. Oh, well, we can make, the quality control and the playtesting get downsized and handled outsourced. Oh, now it's all bugs and doesn't work. Well, who handled that? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know all about the video game world, so I know.
Yeah. Well, it's the same, just corporate greed. Jeremy, you are indeed our advisor. And he said, this is how corporations work through. Just saying. Yep. Yeah, no. And it is indeed evil, just like the wheel. It's very evil and not very nice.
The wheel definitely can be evil, for sure.
Like I said, Vince will shit on your head. That's terrible. He might even lie to your face and rob you a little, but he had certain morals that he stuck to. Like he felt like if you got injured on his dime, he kept you until you were good to go. He never got rid of anybody injured. He stood by that. There was a lot of like little quirks that McMahon had. And hit the like button, guys. You can become a member today. Help out the channel if you'd like to do so, or send in a super chat to fund the show directly. I appreciate you all greatly. Thank you for being here for the NXT
smash the
review.
Like button too, y'all.
And then subscribe over on Twitch to DJ Anime 2016. Links in the description box down below.
On the Twitch.
Yes, as always, everything in the description box down below. I'm just, I shouldn't be baffled. I shouldn't be surprised, but it is like my brain doesn't compute. I'm so generosity built, and I'm like, oh God, they're paying the people in NXT like shit still, but they're doing it and they're waiting for the main roster call up. That's why Jasmine Nix quit. She couldn't afford it. Yeah. She had, I forget how many knee surgeries before the age of 30. She was like, I just can't afford to do it anymore. Had she waited 6 of those 8 months, now she's on the main roster with Fatal Influence. But I get it. That's not a guarantee. That wasn't a guarantee. And maybe if she stayed and they didn't move Lainey Reed in with them, then maybe they don't get moved up together and it is just JC Jane. Maybe she didn't fit. I don't know. There is no guarantee, and that's what sucks. But that's the risk you take. And I feel like there are a lot of great talents working their way up, a lot of new, fresh talents. So people like CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, not that they should be all part-timer, but they should be on about that level where they come in, they're feud enders, they're the main event scene, but not like Hogan and everybody in WCW where they're the highest regard. No, they're just like, oh, they're there to put people over pretty much in a way. Like they could still have stories and purpose, but they should be close to that transition period where they're getting their last hurrahs out of their system and getting ready to lay down to put over the talent, like a Lesnar, like a, it gets to be that time. And you kind of build on the way there. It's like you had your 15 years in the sun. Now start to transition to something more of a... Because Roman's been part-time for how long now? He did it during most of his freaking title reign. It would be, and people like, oh, no, that doesn't get... Most weeks, it was the Usos and Sammy, and then... Paul Heyman and whoever else you wanted to throw in, Solo Sikoa and all.
Solo at the time, you had Solo and Sammy and the Usos.
They would all come out instead of him, and they would come out to the bloodline, and they would talk about Roman, and he's the best.
Last night on Raw, when Roman was getting attacked by Jacob, the Usos didn't come out to help him.
No, I don't know if they were the building or not still. I think that was part of it, but they usually lay out the whole thing for Roman, like, oh, here's what happened, here's what's going on, here's what, happens with Roman Reigns, and it just gets tedious. It gets very tiresome. So I'm hoping that just like Paul said in the Sparkle Fingers, it keeps it exciting and they do something with it. But right now, you could have inserted anything with Jacob into 2022, 24, anytime between that Roman Reigns saga, and it makes no difference. Like it's indiscernible from any other point. It could go before him and Balor and after him and Owens.
The whole thing with the Vision, I had a feeling once Seth got taken out of the Vision and Braun's starting to get his getting all his thing going, I said eventually the Vision's all just going to go away anyway. So, I mean.
The Vision never really made sense.
No.
Excuse me. That was the problem. They had an all-for-one mentality, but why would they be Seth's lackeys? They were already in the main roster, so we didn't bring them up from NXT, excuse me. Like, there was no reason that they were indebted to Seth.
And then they all got hurt. It's like you had Braun got hurt, or Braun had surgery, and then you had Bronson Reed, he got hurt, and it's like, then you had to bring in Logan and Austin Theory.
Like you said, you bring in masked people, and then it got even more silly and convoluted and wasteful. So what do we get? A whole lot of slop, a whole lot of nothing, and nothing compares to the cake that was NXT tonight. Nikita alone served up a dessert, and I'm telling you, it should have mattered. That's the thing. Like all of these things that we're saying right now, nothing feels exciting. And I wish Roman's bloodline journey meant something, but with him pretending to be a face while acting like a heel, it just takes away from all of it. It really does.
How good or bad the cake was on NXT. Oh, God.
Right? I'm telling you, it brings that cake into perspective.
There was definitely some cake on NXT. That's all I got to tell you.
Cake galore. So Evil got his new name. So did Will Cruz. He'll hit you with a Spanish noose. I don't know. He's got some great chance. Don't ask me.
I was waiting for him to come out. I was like, let's see. We haven't seen the other guy that came out that attacked Tony. Oh, there he is. He came out at the very end of the show.
Right? We've got to get me to stop rambling and get into NXT. And holy hell, Orlando was not ready for Revenge of the 5th on the CW network. They showed highlights of everyone making their entrance into the NXT universe last week. All the debuts, all the action, everything that went down. That's one of my main complaints. This week, we had some follow-ups, but they were missing some key players, like Shiloh. I know they got a quick little vignette from him, but he should have been there. Should have had a match. Should have had something. Yeah. There's others, but he was the first one to come to mind. But there's a few people that I'm like, where were they? They had the biggest weeks of their lives last week, and then just hanging out, having a good time. All right, here we go.
Well, first of all, the beginning of the whole show, they started out with a brawl backstage. I'm just kind of like, okay.
So Tony D gets attacked by Tavion, and all security and some of the talent are pulling them apart, and they're going to have their match tonight in the main event, basically. Well, no, this is supposed to be in the mid-section, mid-show main event.
It was supposed to be in the middle of the card.
The 9 o'clock hour,
due to other things that happened, it got pushed to the main event.
It got moved, so... And we get Lash Legends clone Kaylee Armstrong. She's great. She's amazing, but she's not standing out. Like, that's the problem. I know she could be... She's still somewhat green, but damn, is she really good. She comes out wearing the Lakers colors. She's coming from Inglewood, She's hailing from the Kia Forum. She's got it. Like, Jada's throwing it back and doing the step dancing, and Kaylee's, like... equally got it going on and has that aura, but she's just, I don't know, she's not connecting. She's not, let's pause that. She's not managing to grab my attention. There's nothing that she's doing here so far that I've been like, oh wow, this stands out. And I saw more in LFG than her in NXT. Basically, they did the whole match as them being 50-50. They would trade trash talk as much as they would counter each other's moves. Every time you would get one slingshot in somebody, it would be another strike combination for a takedown. You know, a bunch of fallen knees, like sleet outside, maybe some hail. We got the big bonsai drop from Jaida for a near fall. And again, they trade blows up in front to each other, but eventually Armstrong, she does the run the ropes move there, and she hits the Cali connection, I believe is what they called it. So it's like a shoulder tackle, but she runs the ropes like Braun Breaker, like a dozen times kind of thing. Pinball effect, and then hits her with the shoulder. It's not a terrible finish. And she was fun in Evolve. I think she was better in Evolve from the highlights and matches that I've seen. And this is like her first real NXT match here. And like I said, I'm just not connecting to it. It's not bad by any means. She's got time. She can connect with the audience eventually, but this didn't wow me, and I was hoping for a bigger debut. And I think part of that was the choice of opponent, because I like Jaida Parker. So seeing somebody that you enjoy getting their ass beat is unfortunate, especially a Jaida Parker that's put so much time into building herself up and defining her character and coming out of the shadows of all of the other women that have been here so far. She's had to work very hard to differentiate herself because she's not the typical blonde bimbo look, and she's had a lot of adversity. She's an amazing track star. She's done some really incredible things before getting to NXT, but instead of being able to highlight this, she just got overshadowed time and time again by so many women. And I mean, you go back to Roxanne Perez.
I was going to assume that Jaida was going to win that, because I figured, well, Jada's probably going to win this. And I'm like, oh, no, she lost.
I thought so as well. I'm like, well, it sucks that Armstrong is going to lose her debut, but Jaida needs the,
Yeah.
It was a 10-minute match.
I was like, whoa.
So I think that was the detriment here. I would have had her debut facing someone like a Nikita Lyons, like what Lizzie Rain did. I wouldn't do it 2 weeks in a row, but you get my point. No. Someone like that, a heel that stands out, that can sell really well and make you look like $1 million, but the audience is going to be okay with them getting their ass beat. Excuse me. The crowd did not want to see them pin Jaida here. So when she gets the win, the crowd is very trepidatious. They're like, all right. I mean, you want her to win, but Jada's supposed to be protected because they lost a lot of their women's talent, especially a few of their top baby faces, and their top baby face and Soul right now is gone. But think about it. So far in this year, they lost Stephanie. They lost Julia. They lost Jordan Grace.
Yep.
Now Fatal Influence, Sol Ruka. I know there's others that I'm not even considering in this moment. It's the point of NXT. I like what I've seen from Armstrong so far. But this is not how you debut somebody, I feel like. It made me root against the debuting star when she's supposed to. Blake Monroe, they lost as well. Yes.
Yeah, Blake Monroe, they lost Blake too.
I was just thinking of So NXT's lost a ton of female top talent.
Tiffany wasn't there. Tiffany wasn't there this year. She was there last year.
Yeah, but still, she was another one that was there briefly because of Daddy.
Yeah.
There's been so many women's talent, Lash Legend, went up as well this year.
Lash.
Kiana James went up this year,
Yeah.
I believe.
I think she went up. Yeah, she went up too.
There's been
NXT
within the
gutted.
last 12 months, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Since pretty much over last summer, it's been a steady flow of losses. And even before that, like I said, they've had others. So, then we get, surprisingly enough, the repackaging of Evil. I saw people online complaining already. I can't believe he's got to. Aren't they over this by now? I get being upset when, like, you had Walter in NXT UK, in NXT. Then on the main roster at Survivor Series, he was Walter. Then he comes up and he's Walter. And now he's Gunther. And he's Gunther Stark. The nuts. Oh, we can't say it. Oh, he's just from Germany and he's got an affinity for men with tiny mustaches and comb-overs. Got it. Gunther Stark. Yeah. Oh, we're losing the last name because we didn't know he was a nut. Ah, gotcha. Like, I get when there's an outcry over that. But he can't be Evil. He can't be Will Cruz. It's not his real name. If Evil was his real name, maybe. Like, that's how Warrior did it, by changing his name to Warrior. But,
yeah.
I mean, Zaria wasn't Zaria. People forget that. I forget her damn name in Australia.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head.
Oh my God, I'll think of it too. It began with an A, I want to swear.
Yeah, it was definitely something. I think it started with an A.
And, I was way off. Not an A. She was Delta. Delta Brady. Yeah. Delta. There's somebody else that I'm thinking of with an A that will come to me. But still, right now, the only A is me for being a gigantic asshole. But I can't think. Yeah, Delta, Daria Hodder. Yeah, there's been so many name changes, and it's just a legal, has to happen thing. You think TKO is going to give any of these talent the rights to the names if they're leaving and can't? No, they have enough people that own their names or own rights to this. And exactly, she's not going ahead, and Daria is not allowed to use Delta or anything that, instead of Daria, she was Delta, and it worked out really well in Melbourne City Wrestling. Then she went to Riot City, and she was the champion, the grand champ, the tag team champ, the women's champ. Like, she won the actual championship. Nuts. I mean, this girl did it all there. And I'm telling you, like, she deserved it. Some other catchy people coming from there, too. Rhea, So we've seen Riot be a big import for talent. And Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, Daria, yeah, she's, had to change it up. Evil is here to do battle. Keanu Carver knew that was the kanji for war. Interesting. So he's also very intelligent. Tony D didn't recognize it, but he said he may be standing at the top of NXT, but he's holding a prize that Evil wants. He said, I gave you a gift of a proclamation of war, and when you'll do battle with me one day over the title, and it's written in the sun. Evil's NXT name is Naraku. Now, you said immediately you knew this name. Explain, please.
I know this name well, very, very well. It's an anime name from an anime series I used to watch. The main villain was called Naraku. And he was pretty much pure evil.
That's absolutely from Inuyasha, right?
Yeah, it's from Inuyasha. It's exactly what it's from.
Okay. And I'm looking, he was portrayed as incredibly cruel, manipulative, and the most satisfying evil that evil could be. He took great sadistic delight in the misery and pain of others. Like, this is what evil is. He's embodying this character. And
Pretty much.
it's an
Yeah, Naraku
incredible
and
connection.
it was in Inuyasha, which is a very older anime series that I used to watch when it came on TV or whatever. And yeah, Naraku was the pure evil villain of that series.
Incredible, you know, and
And as soon as that came on the screen, I was like, "Oh, I exactly know what that meant." Okay, that's just the most perfect name for you, right there, buddy.
yeah,
Perfect.
and you can see him there, and that's what's incredible is like to go ahead. He, you know, somebody's an anime fan, whether it's himself or somebody with NXT. That's a really cool factoid. The fact that you knew that and you're like, oh, it doesn't just mean like this is such and such. This is what it stands for. So it's multifaceted, multi-purposeful.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Japanese name. It pretty much means, from what I saw on the Google, it pretty much means hell, God, evil, abyss. And then it has Inuyasha, Naraku, villain. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And basically, like, you see through the origins and through all of it.
Even your lawyer knows. Even your lawyer knows about Inuyasha.
Cartoon Network. Yep.
3
I remember
a.m.
waking up at 3 a.m.
Exactly.
and that used to be
I remember falling asleep, going to bed to Cartoon Network, an Adult Swim Adult Swim at the time, and I was going to bed, and I would always fall asleep to the ending song of Inuyasha.
Those memories, I'm telling you, you know, and the stuff that they used to do in between Adult Swim and the anime block there. Like
yeah,
and they'd have all the little skits but like you said, the definition being just pure evil, being trapped in purgatory, like all these different meanings, but still all related to death, hell, and being controlled by an omnipotent being, often referred to as the spider.
Ew, I like spiders.
Very interesting. So apparently all Narakus are controlled by an outworldly and otherworldly being created from pure evil. Such like pure evil when harnessed takes the form of a being that takes the body of a spider. Basically, it looks like a spider. And that's what's actually weaving its web to manipulate and control the evil in the universe. Like, it's very acid trip-esque. Like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. But you think about it, this being made of all evil is controlling every other evil being throughout time and space. It's very wow, you know, get you going in the brain department. But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, I was curious what they were going to call evil, because I was like, obviously he can't use evil, and I was like, I wonder what he's going to be called. And of course they did and of course they showed it. I was like, perfect name.
And this isn't just an anime thing, though. That's what I want people to realize. Like, this is in a real, you know, Japanese lore. This is what they believe. Naraku are evil.
There's a lot of Japanese lore.
Yes, and there is such a thing as pure evil. It's like a defined level of hatred that becomes past purgatory, past hell, and it's so strong and intense that it manifests into the form of a being that looks like a spider and controls all evil throughout time and space. Naraka is the realm of hell that they talk about in Hinduism and Buddhism. So basically, it's where individuals are sent for punishment or purification based on the karma or sinful actions in life. So depending on if you're Hindu, it's you're sent there for punishment. If you're Buddhist, you're sent there for purification. They're both torturous and you know, punishment. But it's just a matter of context. Isn't that incredible? You're going to the same place. You're going to hell in both.
See, the whole thing is, the whole thing is everybody on Twitter is probably going to complain about his name, and they don't know anything about his name, or they don't obviously unless they're into the anime scene, they're not going to know that actual character from the.
But see,
Inuyasha show.
they won't know it from Inuyasha, but I mean, they might know it from actual like history lore, possibly. I doubt it, but that's another end of it, because Yama, the god of death, who judges the souls and determines their fate, is that being, that deity that I was speaking of before, and it depicts the place that they control of intense suffering and torment, governed by Yama, the god of death.
The whole thing is anime has there's a lot of history. Even though anime is just a bunch of anime's a bunch of like cartoons, whatever. But
that's how manga began, right? As a retelling of history.
There's a lot of Japanese lore in some of the anime series. I mean,
because then they would not fabricate, but expound on these adventures, like, oh, what happened next, even though the adventurer died, those type of things, and they would continue, I guess, and that's how
it's just like I watched the series Bleach. The series Bleach is another one. It's got a lot of like the Soul Society, and they come and take people's soul. They take care of the souls of the people that are passed on, and there's a lot of lore behind that show. So
yes.
Oh.
It's often looked at in other religions, like Sikhism, as the lowest of 6 realms of existence, characterized by intense suffering caused by accumulated negative karma and sin.
Yeah, anime is a very interesting thing. And the thing is, I got into anime years before a lot of people got into anime. I was watching anime long before. Not long before anime's very popular nowadays. When I was into it, it was not very popular. Nobody really knew anything about it. So
I love that we're going to get to see his in-ring debut next week, and we don't know who it's going to be against.
That's good.
Having a name that's often translated as hell is definitely a darker edge right from the onset. Love it.
Yeah.
This is powerful. I'm excited for what's to come. Now, all eyes are locked in for the next week. What is that, the 12th? Yeah. Everybody wants to see what happens next with DeMarco.
I won't be able to see his debut because I'll be at a baseball game. But,
you're going to be having a great time then. But next week, live, we'll be seeing what happens with the debut of the former evil, the now known as Naraku. Jasper Troy taking on Jackson Drake. Obviously, our boys at Swipe Right still trying to hold the Vanity Project, still trying to hold strong here. And it's all about them working together to try and overcome Jasper Troy. But Jasper Troy goes on the outside towards the end of the match, about the 7-minute mark, and tries to throw Drake back into the ring. And no, he tries to throw Baylor back into the ring, and poor Brad isn't thrown high enough, so he kind of lands on his hip on the apron. Oh, that looked like it sucked.
Yeah, that looked like that would hurt.
He didn't go up and over the ropes. He just landed up and straight down. And then, what a woman. Yeah. Mika, everyone to say her name, Micah Lockwood, again, the one that was picked up in the blind date, shows up, and Jasper Troy, he might be on Con Air with Jasper Troy because he is flying. She picks him up and body slams his ass like nothing. Like Hogan and Andre, like Undertaker.
Exactly.
Hitting Hogan with a tombstone. Well, you got me, brother. You got me. She wrecked him.
She's gonna be the next China.
So this totally screams DX in China. And that's not a bad thing at all, but it's such a good working relationship. Like, damn, this is fun. It is a China for a new generation. Think about it. It's been 5 years, really, ish. 24 since we've seen China in WWE.
It's been a long time.
When did she stop? 2002, I feel like.
I think so.
Not far after that. So
it's kind of funny because I was
over 20 years.
Speaking of China, I was actually at a show here God knows, back in the day, and it was a house show, small little W house show, whatever. And I was actually in there. I was actually at the show when China made her actual debut, and I was like, that's crazy. That's been, I don't know how many years ago that's been, but it's been a while.
So. All right, let's take a gander here before I look up the results. When do you think, you can go first or after? Let's guess. When do you think her last WWE match was? I know she was in TNA. I know she had other later matches, but I'm saying WWE. Like the WWE WWE audiences have not seen her for at least 20 years. So that's why I'm saying, what year do you think she was done? I'll go first if you want, because I'm guessing June 2002. That's my guess.
I'm gonna say
2000 was so 2000. Mania 17 was 2001.
2002? 2003?
I said 2002 June. What are you thinking? What month?
What month? Oh God. September of 2002.
All right, let's see. Drum roll is, according to AI, it says Judgment Day, May 20th, 2001 in MSG, where she defended the women's title against Lita. This bout is widely recognized as her last appearance in the company before she retired from WWE's in-ring competition. I don't see anything after then. And then she went to Japan. She went to TNA in 2011, and that was it. Yeah. So
2011 was her last actual
wrestling, but yeah, she refused to negotiate for less than $1 million. They offered her $400,000. So that's why, and that sucks because she was, in great demand. She left November 30th, 2001, but her last match was against Lita at Judgment Day, and she vacated the title, but she made it all the way to, like I said, November 30th, 2001. Damn.
Gotcha.
So fans haven't seen really Nicole Bass doesn't count, and there's been a few big ladies like, oh my God, they had that Asuka-looking naming girl that was in NXT originally. She was like 8 feet tall. They only had her on for like a week or two, and then she got booted out.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
they've had a few like super big women, but they haven't had anybody be as impactful as Chyna. This lady, she's got a pretty face. She's got a very like unique look. Yes, she's manly, but there's more to her than that. Like, she's massive. There's size. There's intimidation factor. She's with a bunch of skinny dorks who think they're God's gift to women. This works. It's hilarious. Let this play out, please.
Yeah. As soon as I saw her pick a Jasper up, I was like, "Yep, there's
he's a baby.
The new Chyna.
Yeah,
there's the new Chyna."
And it was great, and it was so much fun. The only thing that I'm upset with is that, again, Jasper Troy just gets destroyed. He loses again and again and again. And this was a really good match for Jackson Drake, too. Like, I could see him being the HBK type, too. Like, all three of them being, Road Dogg and Triple H to even out the odds of everything. DX. Yeah. They'd be more like X-Pac and Road Dogg than ever a Triple H. But really, they've got their HBK. We got a Tristan Angels vignette, and I didn't hate it. He said he can shear a sheep in under a minute and kick a superstar's ass in less than that.
Wow.
His name is synonymous with overachievement, and he was destined for so much more than gold in his veins, born as a sheep farmer. So, it was a fun vignette. He said he's Mr. England. He talked about Shiloh and Hank and Tank and everybody, and said how they all sucked.
About everybody.
I liked it. They showed a Origins video of Rhea, and then we got Zaria coming out, and she cut a very good promo, basically saying that she got rid of the dead weight. She doesn't have any more fake friends. It's only her. she's going to lead her own path. This is how it always needed to be. And she wants that women's North American title that, you know, she could be going for the women's title, the main title. But guess what? Soul used that thing as a way to you know, that title was what got between them. And Soul used it as a prop to prop herself up. And it always should have been hers. You know, Soul talked about, you know, being the champion for so long. That title's what should have woken her up. And that's when, you know, we see Tatum Paxley come out and she's like, I've got nothing to do with your issues with Soul. You want a shot at the title, you can prove yourself. And that's when Lizzie Rain comes out. Lizzie! And she says NXT is awesome because I'm the new blood in the locker room and I'm going to join in on the fun. She's like, that title, it's iconic, and there would be no more person iconic than me to hold it like a heavy metal badass. After I beat Nikita Lyons last week, I went ahead and dun, rawr, here comes the cat lady. And
here she comes.
Jeremy's thick mama, the cat lady, goes ahead and shows up, not in a stroller, and she is indeed walking out there. Her butt shows up 4 seconds later, and we go ahead and she's mocking Reigns' accent, and then she's basically saying, like, she put on this like ghetto accent.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're all hype. And it was really bad.
Yeah.
Everybody was great in this, sadly, except for Nikita. Nikita has never really impressed me. She like, everybody went wild for her when she first debuted. And I'm like, that's because she's got a big ass. You guys are going nuts over that. Like, it was the looks thing. Oh my God, look what she did. She did the splits and all that stuff. And then she got injured and she was away, but people kind of forgot about her in that time. But she didn't reinvent herself at all. She did. And she feels like she's a bigger version of Guerrero there, Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me.
Oh God. Excuse me.
Yes, that's what she feels like. Excuse me on the mic, like very grating. I'm not done with the Maiden of Metal.
Well, see,
you know, Nikita Multimedia isn't done.
I was like, oh, we're going to get Tatum versus Zaria. And then all of a sudden, here came Lizzie and here came Nikita. I was like, no, wait a second. Hold on.
That's the problem. So they teased us with something epic, and maybe they'll get there eventually. But sadly, I don't have an interest. I should say I like Lizzie Rain, but I don't want her involved if they're going to keep up the feud with Nikita and have it a fatal 4-way or whatever their plan is. This is
apparently
not
next
it for
week
me.
Of course, next week, apparently they're going to do a tag match with Zaria and...
Zaria says, F this. I am out of here. You all, I'm not dealing with it. She's like, Jake, Liz, you both, I'm not doing a tag match. And I'm like, whoa, listen.
That's pretty much what I got out of that thing, out of that backstage thing.
Absolutely.
She was pretty much like, she looked
Fuck
at
this.
Robert Stone and he was like, oh, we're going to do a tag match. And she's like, oh, what?
And she's like, rewind. Fuck you, I am. I'm done with this nonsense. And he's like, here's the thing. Do you want the title shot? Because if you do, you're going to do the tag match. And she's like, and storms off. So she's teaming with Big Mama, and it is Big Mama's house. Hit that thing, flies away like a gas bubble. And let me see, do we got Big Mama's house? It is on the board. I do miss Soul in NXT already.
Soul Snatcher.
You did say you liked her new theme, though.
Soul got a new music on Raw last night. It was actually pretty good.
It was upsetting that the botch happened, but it was so slight. She slipped, yes, but is it really a big deal? She didn't miss the move. Think about when Matt Sydal appeared on AEW for the first time and completely just fell off the turnbuckle and splashed the corner of the mat. He did nothing but just...
Give me a hell yeah!
And then bottomed out and started to cry. Like he couldn't even save it. He was just like, I got it. I don't
Yeah,
got it.
the whole segment with Becky and Soul got me interested, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna do
Yeah,
Soul and
I'm
Becky.
excited to see them face each other. Soul could have gone for Liv again, but this is better for me. I like that it's the mid-card thing. Becky's really experienced.
To be honest, I'd rather have Soul go with Becky.
Yeah.
For now, because center back, she's just getting onto the roster, and then eventually she can go for the main title.
Give her a chance. That's what I said last night about Obafemi. You know, if he's not, they didn't give Brock Lesnar the title right away when he defeated Undertaker. They waited till SummerSlam for him to start the Suplex City stuff. They take their time with these things, because if you rush right into it and give Obafemi the belt, then what? You know, like, oh, then he defends it. Yeah, but against who? Who else is ready? You got to keep building people. He's gonna, like, I know it was a quick match and the open challenge is silly, but him doing the squash match in the way that they did it was supposed to show the impressive feats of Obafemi. And who better to do that than with Mini Andre in Otis? He lifted up Otis like he weighed a pancake amount.
He literally picks a 330-pound guy up and tosses him across the ring. I'm like
it was nothing.
Like he was like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah. Like Jason Voorhees entered the chat and was like, Mama, did I do good? Like, that was it. Roughed him up.
Donkey!
I don't know where the complaints are for this. I get like, oh, it's no feud, it's no story. It's been 1 week. And it was supposed to, again, ingratiate us to Obafemi, give us a chance to get to know him better. A lot of people aren't watching NXT that are on the main roster side of the audience. And on top of it, what have they seen from him so far? A few minutes in the Rumble, a 4 minute and 45-second match at Mania, and a couple other very, very, very short matches in between. So let him have more matches. Even if they're short, like, let it build, let it get longer, let it get bigger. We know in NXT the man can go. He can give us a half-hour bell to bell. It's happened. He delivered.
He can go.
Yeah.
You
He's had amazing matches.
Open challenges are going to get eventually. They're going to get harder as they go along. At least that's what I'm assuming.
If it gets worse and they do nothing good with it, then I will shit on it and gladly say, hey, I thought it might be good, but it was a terrible idea and it ended up being. Yeah. But the impotence of it, the start of it is not bad. It's not rooted in a straight miserable fuck up. I feel like there is a decent place to start here with this that works. I feel like they have the intentions. Raw
actually had some decent moments last night. I mean, they had some
moments. Yes,
they had some.
Was it the best Raw? Yeah, and I can admit that. And it felt like more than not there were less than stellar things, especially Liz, knowing that we're heading into Backlash this weekend. There was barely, I mean, as much as I'm not a fan of the main event, it did push you to want to watch the main event. Like, that did its job as far as the feud went. But the rest of the feuds, like Io and Asuka.
Actually, what I actually liked was the Asuka and Io thing that they did. But of course, it was all in Japanese. But
I liked the promo backstage vignette moment, and then she sprays her with the mist. I just wish that happened last week, and now you got to wait to answer to it and then add a stipulation to the match finally, or make, like, it just, I don't know. Do they need it entirely? No, they can go to the match right after this, but I just feel like it hasn't gotten to that true elevation because they took Kyrie out of it.
Well, they took Kyrie out of the whole situation because the whole thing was you were supposed to do something with Kyrie. What'd you do? You let her go. So it's like,
it was all contingent upon her as far as the story went. So now they're trying to retcon it and be like, oh, it's because I kicked you out of the group and it's my fault and I ruined you, instead of being like, no, I'm trying to save Kyrie from you and your evil ways. So they've had to pivot. It's still essentially the same story, but it's not quite the same.
Essentially is you got Asuka, the teacher, and Io's the student.
Yeah, the fans just aren't eating it up. because they know they want Kyrie, and it's not going to be the R-Truth here she comes thing. If it happens at Backlash, great, but I know she's gone. Kyrie has been unfortunately, she got they said she went back to Japan. We know what that means. Laurinaitis was waiting out back. He still works for TKO and takes care of the bodies. You just see him wiping the blood away.
I was hoping I was hoping they, I was like, eventually they're gonna let Kyrie and them do their thing, and I was like, well, I guess they're not gonna do that. Never mind.
We asked her to job to the company. Little did she know we meant the big job. Ain't that right, Coot? Ain't that
She was
right?
probably one of those people that didn't want to take a pay cut.
I wouldn't doubt it, And the gingerbread man saga only gets better and better too. I'll show you before we get out of here. But yeah, my goodness.
Oh yeah, we got a funeral for the gingerbread man on Friday.
Yeah, come to Daddy, who doesn't want to deal with a gingerbread man. Certainly excites me. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I know.
I'm actually interested to see what they're going to do.
That's what it is.
To see what they're going to do with that, because I was just like, okay.
It could be a hilarious funeral with an actual procession and stuff, and something that just is comedy gold from Trick that we like to see, or it could be this type of funeral, with some extra icing from their, for the gingerbread man, just like Katie Vick. It'll be a great time. Everybody loves themselves some Katie Vick, right?
I'll tell you one thing, we're gonna have Gunther on SmackDown Friday to talk to, to call, and I'm like, oh joy, exciting.
I love it. Oh, it makes me chuckle.
I don't want to see Gunther versus Cody again. They've already wrestled. Cody's beat his ass already.
I know. What's going on, Casey? Ghostface is a psychopath. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pyro Wrestling Live is coming back. SpongeBob has been on a hiatus for a while. He got his ass beat.
SpongeBob's on a hiatus?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Got his ass beat, and that's all there was to it. So
SpongeBob taking a vacation? Is he taking a vacation like Roman?
He might be a forced vacation down to Bikini Bottom.
Oh no!
It might happen because look at that. Robert Stone runs out and he's like, "Hey, we got to change this now because of the chaos of Tony D being slammed into a wall by Cam Hendricks."
He literally got slammed into his head went into the wall.
His head went into the drywall. It was a very crazy spot, and they pulled it off. I loved it.
Apparently, Hendricks. What the Hendricks guy is I think it's Maxine Dupree's husband now.
Husband, yeah, was fiance, now husband.
Yeah.
Could be wife. Could be her wife. I don't know. I'm all confused on the pronouns. Could be showing up, and the Blue Ox. Mr. Iguana was there, and
guess what? He had an iguana.
I didn't know if you knew that or not, because some people forget to tell you, it's like, he's got an iguana. And it's like,
he's got an iguana, Jake.
That's all he does is, and he gets everybody covered in green damn paint. I'm off the Mr. Iguana train a little bit. It wore off on me because it never evolved. It's just been the same shtick since last May. He lost on Cinco de Mayo to the culling of all people. And he got his green paint all over Niko Vance's nice white pants. Unfortunately, it is what it is, says Izzy Dame. But damn, was this unfortunate for the Iguana and the women's champ Lola Vice. They got beat. They got beat on Cinco de Mayo, Revenge of the 5th. They got beat.
And then, of course, now that's gonna play into Izzy getting a possible title shot against Lola now. So.
Yeah, Lola got some great hip attacks in there, and eventually goes for the triangle submission, the dual submission from Iguana and Lola. But that's when they get thrown to ringside, and Izzy gets the rope break, and she rolls up Lola, and then she hits Lola with the knee plus, gets the victory. It's 11 and a half minutes of a substandard TV match. There was nothing bad about it, but it really was just not a special or fantastic match, especially being their bread and butter. They are the mixed tag team champions. The Culling is a mixed tag team. They're supposed to be, you know, like in their prime here with both teams, and it just it didn't deliver. No, really, it didn't. It didn't. It could have been such a better match, and instead,
it wasn't that great. And to think that was going to be the main event.
Yeah. Then we get Dark State taking on Hank and Tank. This felt really super thrown together. We haven't gotten much from Hank and Tank in a while. And then we also get Dark State in there. And it's Griffin and James who have been the side guys for the last 4 weeks while all of the single match stuff and vignette things have been going on.
Yeah.
So it's the two guys we care about the least. You know, Lennox and Sugars have at least gone for the title for a bit now. Now we get here and it basically turns into hell at the end, and Dark State, who couldn't get it together for most of it, end up getting Hank and Tank cut out of the air at the end for a big body slam, and they do the double team Blue Thunder Bomb, get the victory, and it wasn't a great match. Hank and Tank, they're often overlooked and underrated. Like when they had the tag titles, they can put on stellar tag team matches. They are not just your typical baby faces. They're not always happy-go-lucky and plucky and super charged and ready to go. Like if they get beat up, they want revenge. Like they could be serious. They can do the honk and the silliness, but they could also be real too. But we haven't seen them in a long time, and we haven't gotten anything of note or merit with them in a long, long time. And then on top of that, I feel like the last thing they did of anything was the stuff with Joe Hendry before he was even NXT champ. He was still in TNA. So it's been a long time. And then you're putting them up against not heels that you're like, oh, I want to see them get their ass beat. It's like heels you don't really give a shit about, in the form of two people of Dark State that we're just already exhausted of. And the whole point of Dark State is them not able to work together, not able to get the job done. And now you're going ahead and you're having them win, even though they're not able to coexist. It's a very weird thing, and it's unfortunate that that's the case.
Well, see, Hank and Tank, they went to Japan and did a bunch of stuff over there.
Yeah, with Noah. That's what
Noah.
I'm saying. I thought we would see them come back like new people.
Yeah.
But we had that great interview with Keanu Carver, and then we got Tony D taking on Tavion Heights. And Tavion is never someone that I have been overly captivated by. The NQCC, his involvement there with everyone, it was never spectacular. He wasn't bad, but he didn't stand out in the group at all. Ever.
Yeah.
Sadly. Yeah. No, really. Him, Dempsey, Ren, Miles.
What? Who?
Miles Bourne.
What?
Yeah,
Miles. Okay.
Yeah, the North American champ. See, you got it.
What? Yeah.
No.
I got it.
All right. Somebody's got it, but he didn't shine, Tavion. And now they're trying to get the non-deaf guy to come up and be like, hey, I'm special too. I can do the wrestling when everybody does the wrestling. And it's almost like they're making us feel like, oh, we should have studied. We should know how great he is. But they never showed us why he's great. And just having a good match doesn't make us care about this guy, especially when Tony D is champ. He's been a badass, but he's not in any feud that's making us root for Tony, because I want to see Evil take the damn title.
Yeah, same.
Hikaru here is going to be champion sooner than later, much sooner,
Yep.
I feel like. And that excites me because Evil has had a rough road in New Japan. He, with the Bullet Club stuff and from I've not seen every bit of it, but from what I did follow of his career throughout the years, like he's always put in the work and felt like, always the
Yeah,
bridesmaid, never the
he was
bride.
in the Bullet Club, and then he took charge of that group in Japan, New Japan, called was the House of Torture and
Yes.
all that stuff. So,
Stupid mosquito bite killing me over here. It's itching me like
I
hell.
hate mosquito bites. They drive me
Right?
crazy.
Evil bastards. I would wipe them all out. That'd be my first.
Just like spiders, I
snap.
like to kill all those too.
Those two, the evil entity of the spider, just spitter's gone. So yeah, our NXT champion beats Tavion Heights in a not exciting but well wrestled match. It just felt really house show or performance center-esque. Like there were times where it really slowed down and Tavion was like, oh, he's got him in a sleeper, the dragon sleeper. And then Tony
Yeah.
finally gets back up and he gives him a suplex, takes him down, and he's just being very slow and very methodical and using his strength.
Right.
And every time Tony fires up, and he takes out his hair and he gets all wild with it, he hits the three big Germans and gets the suplexes, and Tavion goes for the headbutt. He blocks it, hits him with a big belly to belly, tosses him across the ring. And that's when all of a sudden he just turns around.
Braves.
Yeah, he no-sells everything and then hits a fisherman suplex for a 2 count. And I'm like, he just hit you with 3 Germans and a belly to belly, and you snapped right up to do a snap twisting fisherman suplex. And then that's Tony's signature. So then Tony comes right back, basically no-selling his offense to hit him with the fisherman suplex. And I'm like, it wasn't like anything you can do, I can do better. It was like, I stole your move. Oh, wait, no, you didn't. It didn't have that, like, I can do better than you feel to it. It was just like,
no,
oh, you
it
did it.
didn't.
I'm going to do it. Copy, paste. So now Tony hits him with a spear and another belly attempt gets reversed into a suplex. And that's when Cam Hendrick shows up. And Tavion drags Cam in the ring, and Miles shows up, and he hits Cam with the big flip dive.
What?
Miles does. Miles! And that's when Tony sees that Tavion's distracted, hits him with the Uranagi, gets the big slam, choke slam, whatever you want to call it, gets the victory, 10 minutes, 30 seconds. And Tony D helps Tavion to his feet, and that's when he's big, he's bad. He'll body slam your dad. Will Cruz is here.
Yep.
And Mason Rook is here. And John Cena even tweeted out last week his catchphrase. He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. He hits him with a huge cannonball. And the crowd is singing the chant. And they're chanting, Will Cruz, he's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. Mason Rook, he's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. He's got a very thick accent, I agree. So he's saying Rook, and some people were like, oh, it's Martian Rook. And I'm like, no. It's Rook. Like, all right, and it's Mason, not Mason Rock, not Mason Look, Mason Rook.
Yeah, it's Mason Rook.
And this big man poses, and the camera cuts off, and holy hell, they worked hard in this main event. Like, they hit each other hard for the sake of it. It wasn't for the fans. It wasn't for the audience at home. Because no one really gave a shit. Yet these two sunk it in and were super snug because they could be. Like, I don't give a shit that you're both amateur wrestlers. I don't care. Lengthen your career. There's no reason you could sell for fake moves the same way you can for real. But
Mhm.
Heights and Tony D had to lay into each other super hard, and a lot of what they did in the ring, psychology-wise, sucked. It wasn't a
Yeah.
great main event. You know, they would do a lot of like tit for tat. Batavian would take it to such a, like I said, trying to be methodical, but such a slow pace that the match came to a snooze, not a crawl.
Yeah,
And
it got to the point where I was like, "Oh my god, why are you going so slow?"
mhm. And then it's a 10-minute match. I thought it went for 25 minutes at least.
It felt like that.
That's bad. That's 3.5 Mania matches. You know,
Think
that's
so?
really bad. Ah, there's our kitty buddy. Super
No,
cute.
I hear him. He's in the other room. He's like probably shaking. I heard his
Getting into
collar.
trouble. Yeah. Milo's
No,
not. He's on the
he's been
couch, but
sleeping all night, so he hasn't gotten into trouble. So.
well, that's good at least. You know, he's not messing things up. But
No, he's getting too old. He's getting a little too old for that. So
yeah, I like that they didn't send Will to Evolve. You know, obviously they respect his work enough and what he's done to just put him in NXT as it should be. I don't like that
NXT
they
needs
have
the
feeder
bodies. Everybody
systems.
they lost a whole bunch of
Yeah,
people.
but I don't appreciate all like if you're gonna take somebody that's 18 and very young and put them in Evolve or their feeders like the NIL program or things like that, you know, the next in line or the what was it? The next program kind of.
Yeah,
I forget what it was, but it was like, you know, they'd give you money to train while you were in your own independent school. It was the ID program or whatever,
I think it
independent
might have been the ID
thing.
program.
Yeah. So they had all these different types of things. And I was like, all right, I get that. But now making people go to LFG before they go to NXT just for TV product is like super silly and very detrimental because you're wasting time and you're risking injury every step of the way. A lot of it
Yeah,
just doesn't come across as purposeful anymore. Like, why are you going through LFG if you all already have contracts? It used to be like, oh, whoever wins gets a contract. Now it's whoever wins what? Gets the main event of the pay-per-view they're already a part of. Like, you know, it's like silly. It lacks meaning. And that
yeah,
was kind of my problem tonight with NXT. Good pace, good purpose for what they're leaning for, which is restocking the cupboard. You know, they need to restock the roster,
it's time to
but
reload.
it's lacking that meaning. What I mean is like the meaning to care. Why do I care about Kaylee Armstrong beating Jaida Parker when you've had us care about Jaida Parker as the underdog for years?
Exactly.
Why they put all this effort into Jasper Troy being this really big badass destroyer with coming out with the chains and all that. The man just keeps getting beat up and beat up. He's gotten destroyed. And I mean
Yeah,
obliteratedly destroyed. Yeah, he has by Keanu Carver.
Yeah!
Made him look like a straight
yeah,
up donkey.
Donkey!
And Troy gets turned inside out regularly now. Like he gets used up like an old trick. And not that kind of trick, you know, the
no.
street
Oh, yeah,
the
man!
streetwalker kind.
Mhm.
So those two matches to start the night, like, yeah, the opening was good, but why care? The night continues with Jasper and Jackson. Not bad, but again, why care? Oh my God, we're getting Zaria taking on Tatum frickin' Paxley. Ah, I love it. Wait,
Wait!
wait,
Wait!
wait, we're gonna fuck it up because we're gonna throw Lizzie Rain and Nikita in there. Lizzie can
Yeah,
challenge for a title. She's been there for 1 week, sure. Even though it took Tatum years to get this opportunity. Like talking about like a dichotomy between excitement and possibility to just being totally let down and defeated afterwards. It's like I don't want a tag match of faces and heels because I don't care about Nikita, you know, trying to get along at all with Zaria and I, you know, Tatum teaming up with Lizzie. All right, cool, but do we really give a shit? Again, no. Why do we care? the AAA Tag Team Champions, Mr. Iguana, Lola Vice, the Mixed Tag Team Champs, I should say, lose. Yep. So why should we care about Mixed Tag Team Wrestling and the Mixed Tag Team Champs? Hank and Tank. There's barely any teams left. You got them in Dark State. These are the jobbers from Dark State that win. So why should we care about Hank and Tank at all? And why should we really give a damn about Dark State? And then, of course, why should we care about Tavion Heights when he loses, when really the focus was always on, Mason and Rook, Will Cruz. So
that Mets on a donkey to 3 years.
Yeah, Super Donkey. Oh yeah, Super Donkey. I love it. I don't know where to kind of throw my rating here because there's so much that happened, yet it wasn't horrible. It let me down a lot. 5 matches, 5 predictable outcomes, 5 letdowns. And some of the stuff in between was good. But like last week, we had such a frenetic pace, so much action, so many great story moments. The highlight was Lockwood showing up to be the China, or it was Tatum and Zaria until everybody else came out.
I mean, the whole thing is, I was like, okay, so Tatum's coming out and Zaria, okay, cool, that's great. Why is Lizzie and Nikita coming out? I'm like, no, they don't need to be out here.
Yeah, make it make sense. Why do we? I thought maybe she was gonna, challenge, another way to the match and be like, all right, well, if I beat you, then we can go for the title kind of thing against Tatum. But they didn't even go that way. Like, it's just Zaria was like, forget it. Whatever you want to do, sure. And the matches were well timed out too. Like, it wasn't like anything was egregiously short. Troy and Drake was about 8 minutes. The opening match was 10 minutes. The third match here, the mixed tag, was 12 minutes. Then I missed something. One of the matches. Oh, the tag match between Hank and Tank was 12 minutes. I'm rounding up. And then the main event was 11 minutes. Well, 10:30. So nothing was really, one match was under 10 minutes. Everything else was over the 10-minute mark. Can't complain about match length or commercials being too.
Well, the good thing is all the commercials that I got, because I watched it on cable, on TV, whatever. It's a picture-in-picture thing. So it's literally, that's the way NXT is on the CW. It's all picture-in-picture. So you see what's going on, and you see commercials.
And that's how it should be. So with all of the polls going off right now, the votes, I should say, going off, the poll shows 38% of people gave it a C, an average show. 25% gave it a B. 25% gave it an A. So, wow. And then the last bit of the 13% is split amongst D and F. So F at 1% and D at the remainder. Crazy. But yeah, so as of right now, C, 38% of the vote. 2 closest behind, tied with 25%. I feel like 5 matches, 5 chances to entertain, and I was never not entertained. I wasn't bored. I just wasn't engaged. I wasn't as like, oh my God, I need to pay 110% attention and take every bit of notes. And it didn't suck me in like it did the week before and the week prior. So I'm going to give this a 4. I feel like that's a fair rating.
Yeah, overall. That sounds about fair.
You're giving it a 4 as well, Liz?
Yeah, 4.5. someone that
4.5,
neck of the
4.5. That feels like a fair rating. Chat, let us know what your rating is. Of course,
You too.
Liz will be live tomorrow. She'll be playing games on her Twitch channel, twitch.tv.
I hope to be if the weather doesn't decide it wants to get stormy like it's supposed to be.
Right, but
So
that's twitch.tv/DJ Anime 2016. Head over there, give her a
yes,
follow,
sir.
subscribe if you can. And yeah, we've got tomorrow night. I'll be recording with Spaz, of course. That'll be out at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We've got Into Somewhere Weekly, where we're doing an open preview with all of you in the audience. I will connect with Cody and talk to him and figure things out and what's going on for Into Somewhere Weekly. Tomorrow, we'll square that away. We'll work on things, and we'll go ahead and figure out what's going on. I will go ahead and I'll let you all know, but we will be live at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow with the group predictions for Backlash Tampa, WWE Backlash. This weekend we'll be covering live. So this Wednesday, Into Somewhere Weekly. This Thursday, Game Night. This Friday is the SmackDown review. Now, Danny's having surgery Thursday, and she's having surgery on her knee, but it's kind of up in the air. She can have it go one of two ways, and it all depends on how you want to look at the optics of it. If they can't do the major surgery, they're just going to clean up the area. She'll be quick, and she'll be able to leave that day still able to walk, but she's going to have to reschedule to come back and do the lengthy section of the second surgery. As a second surgery for the full repair of her kneecap and all the, all the excess stuff that they need to do with the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and all that stuff. So, connections, ligaments, tendons, all that have to be repaired. So she won't be walking for at least like 2 months with that. She's going to be pulling a me. So if they can do the repair, they're going to do it Friday, and that'll be a much lengthier surgery and in more intense in recovery and all of that. So I doubt there will be a SmackDown review. If she gets the quicker route and has to reschedule the longer repair in the future, and she's able to walk and all that jazz, then we'll be live that night with the SmackDown review. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at Countdown Ended. I don't use it as a journal and complain that I want to off myself on there. I give you behind the scenes previews and updates. You could become a member on the channel. We put out a new song today as well. I've been working on it since before WrestleMania. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you, Cody, and everybody for all the well wishes. And we will go ahead and figure out what happens for the SmackDown review on Friday. But we will be live this weekend, this Saturday, for the Tampa Backlash review. So until then, I've been Jake. Thank you very much to Liz. Make sure you go ahead, as I said, follow her on Twitter, follow her on Twitch, DJ Anime 2016 over there. Go ahead and make sure you help her reach her goal. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for the NXT review this week. And I know next week you'll be at the baseball game. Going to have a great time with that. But
yeah,
I'll be at
the Braves game next week. Next Tuesday. So
yeah, can't go wrong with that. Go and see the Braves and make JD jealous in the process. You know?
yeah. They're playing the Cubs, so it should be a pretty good game. So
they were playing the Mets. You could have gotten tickets for their side and a couple of Crunch Wraps, all for $12. You know, you would have could have saved some money, but I'm telling you, thank you everybody so much. I hope to see you all tomorrow for the group prediction show. Until then, I hope you all stay sexy. Have a great evening. Thank you all so much, and we'll catch you then. Take care.
Good night, chat.
Feel it in the crowd when the spark don't land. You can feel it in the crowd when the spark don't land. They keep chasing faces while the ring needs hands. Jake says, look at this, tell me what you see. A company for headlines or a place for wrestling. Into somewhere, say the name, say it clear. Into somewhere, we can see the damage here. Higher prices, lower heart. Every week they pull apart. watched it change slow like